Hello, it's Mo. At least, it is me in an unknown year pretending to be shy for the camera. Truthfully, I liked what my sister was trying to do. Capture the moment. I was just unsure if I was the right subject. I took this feeling of uncertainty into my middle, high school, and even college years. I sought to feel like the main character of my own days by really laying into public Snapchat stories. But there was something disingenuous about the methods of documentation I was using. They weren't aligned with my energy. Every few years, I attempted to capture my daily life. While I look back on those archived vlogs fondly, my heart aches for the gaps of memory that exist between each attempt, since I got burnt out from telling cut and dry stories with no purpose, with no heart. So, I stopped. Every now and then, I pulled my phone out to record a snippet of life, but I had no plan for reviewing or using my media in more creative ways. Thus, my camera roll was a sort of purgatory. I would live my days and sometimes capture them through video or journal pages, but my documentation was inconsistent and uninspired. Days became weeks, weeks became months, months became years. At one point in 2020, I realized I was quite empty. I was leaving myself behind. I was soon to finish college during a pandemic with nothing to prove of myself except my academic and student leadership titles, awards, and accolades, while hundreds of unfinished creative projects laid about. All because I allowed a tiny worm to reside in my brain and to whisper, "You're not worth being near the camera?" No. I'm now in my mid-20s. We no longer tolerate letting life happen without our participation. This video is a love letter to my former selves, those who were without the self-love to sit and piece together all that they adored and thought was worth capturing. I'll stick with you as we uncover my undergraduate life for the first time. Together. Welcome 2018 through 2021. I owe the opening of my creative eye to my honors class on film and poetry, where we visited the Mississippi River, journaled for 15 minutes straight, and captured as much B-roll as we could within the hour to create video poems with fresh eyes later. This class helped me realize the beauty in staring off and studying ripples in the water, silent, comfortably sitting next to classmates turned friends. They taught me to be silly even in our academic setting. Be loose. Be you. This one person in particular, my dear roommate of 3 years, saw parts of me I had yet to understand about myself. Amina has this way about her that makes you feel you've been muse material all along. The definition of a good friend, she highlights parts of you that make you realize you are meant to simply be, because you being you will attract grand reflections of your deepest values through loving, authentic friends. We did most things together with our intersecting friend groups, which originated from our student leadership organizations. I was so in awe of everyone I was meeting that I wanted to capture their essence in a way, remembering I used to vlog here and there in high school and early college. Again, it wasn't exactly natural to me, so I would shy away often. But there's just way too many people on this campus now.
Mel couldn't handle it. Mel couldn't handle the pressure.
I could not. Still, I showed up for everyone. I intended to be present through every volunteer event, every school function, every walk around the lake, every event to set up, and every event to sit in. Through all of this, sitting still was quite essential. Not as essential, though, as the feeling of movement and laughter through which I was starting to actively feel rewarded. I even boarded my first ever plane to Iowa, of all places, on a political communication and journalism school trip.
I was worried I'm talking with some Cajun boy talking funny, you know what I mean? she went to Tulane, though. Is that okay?
Go Tigers.
Hi, Bernie.
How you doing?
During the 2020 shutdowns, this momentum of life was strained, but not at all paused. I had a lot of time to sit with myself and promise to start anew soon. Louisiana and Texas were quite quick to reopen in the world.
What is this?
Seriously, I was back in my college town only 5 months later. I took my reflections and never looked back. I realized I cared to experience more that I could be proud of at the end of each day. I wanted to chase unique stories instead of repeating all that I knew before. Even if unique meant taking what I knew before, yet opening it up to better friends. I wanted to live a life I wouldn't later regret. To lean into whatever it meant to be me outside my titles of being a student, sibling, child, and more. I built my own skateboard. And actually rode it sometimes. I started expressing myself through my hair more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
It's a whole hair salon.
Yeah, okay.
Dying
I'm
is
clearly
next.
the parent in a room full of children.
Okay, with the braids.
I took day trips east to New Orleans and west to Houston.
What do you think? I just woke up from a nap right here.
Although I never could quite get a cartwheel down.
Nope.
That is really good. Now if you just kick the foot a little bit harder.
Regardless, I would get back up and continue letting my 5 senses guide my activities. Touch,
Imagine your tattoo artist just starts wiping the ink off.
taste,
This looks more and more like fried chicken. Oh, shit.
sight,
Look at the sun. Look at the sun. I need to wipe my glasses. But look at the sun. At the Home Depot.
smell, and hearing. Time ran out as I predicted it would. I was in disbelief for a moment.
Oh my god.
But I ultimately remembered there's potential in this bounded time. You see, life is measured by how much you feel. You may sometimes be unaware of what's brewing inside.
I'm actually quite dead inside. Not gonna lie. I just like how I look right now.
That's no excuse or explanation.
I guess the weather's nice. So.
It's a plea for help. Even while your brain is dazed and confused, take any sized step in any direction. Toward the call to learn how to be somebody completely different, like a radio show personality.
She's done.
Toward the football field's student section under Saturday Night Lights. Even when you did not get season tickets for that semester.
Stop. Please make me stop.
Toward the even later nights being woken up with knocks at the window. Feeling immensely groggy, but grateful, because you realized you never did get to go out like this the way other people did in high school.
Choose your character. Smoker. Skater girl. Skater girl. Fight.
toward the idea to host a festive holiday, working with what you have, which is not much, but the heart in it is boundless. Eventually, that numbness you once felt will be a blip in the past, or at least more easily worked through with your now established company and hobbies.
These are to spontaneity, adventure, and loving ourselves.
And
That's all I'm
lifelong friendship.
Lifelong friendship.
We're for lifers. Yay! Hola!
When I look back on this undergraduate experience, I feel pride. It is overwhelmingly nostalgic for me. All of it. Running errands in another city and making it a whole event, and appreciating oil spills as if it's Tumblr 2012 all over again. Making sense of my spaces, and thus my boundaries in said spaces. Laughing at anything and everything just to, and unashamedly representing my flagship university.
Help the screen, girl. Help the screen.
Melissa Tien Kim.
I feel immense pride in my younger self having had so much fun because I can look back at these people who made me, me, and me, myself, with deeper affection today.
You went like 1 foot off the ground.
The point is, documenting empowers us to make poetry out of our very own memories. And I am confident I did that today with yesterday's clips. Thank you for watching through and reliving time with me, allowing space for 2018 me and all their friends to simply be. Until next time, take care.
Alright, on this fine Wednesday, October 20, I want to say 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'd be correct.
David is convincing me to start up my YouTube.
Yeah. The people are waiting for you. They want your content.
Apparently not, because this man's passed the fuck out.